We're here today to talk about how excess fertilizer leads to nitrogen contamination and affects the environment here. Let's go. Come on.
In modern America, people love their luscious green gardens and their luscious green lawns. But today, they don't think about the environmental effects that includes with it. See, here's a nice, luscious green garden. And here's the nitrogen that people are pouring into their gardens every single day. Go.
See, most people, they just pour the fertilizer on the desired area and they don't consider the amounts or the effects that happens from it. So they just take a big bag of fertilizer and then they just pour it everywhere. And then the excess amounts affects the nitrogen cycle. So I think we're going to tell you a little bit about the nitrogen cycle right now.
Nitrogen is one of the main components of plant growth. In fact, 78% of the atmosphere is made up of nitrogen. But plants need a way to use this nitrogen. This is done through a process called nitrogen fixation, which can be done in many ways, such as lightning or special bacteria. And after it's fixed, either one of those, who cares? It needs to be ammonified and then further oxygenated into nitrates, which is what they like to eat. Let's just say that. Nitrates are great. And after they assimilate this nitrate, they start to grow. Go.
However, excess amounts of this nitrogen can lead to too much plant growth, which is eutrophication, basically. And it happens in about half the lakes and creates dead zones in the ocean along the coast of many countries. So let's take it to like a lake or something. Let's go.
Get a shot of this lake. See, these are algal blooms. And this is what happens when excess nitrogen is poured onto gardens. When there's a slope and rain comes down, it's called a runoff, and it picks up the excess nitrogen that hasn't been assimilated into vegetation. And this runs off into lakes like these.
Alright, since the nitrogen promotes the growth of these algal blooms, it accumulates on one side of the lake, blocking the sun from the lake, and that makes it so the plants in the lake can't photosynthesize, meaning there's less oxygen in the water, and that the depletion of oxygenated stuff in the water makes it so plants die. And I mean, it's just, look at it. It looks terrible. Terrible.
And so after this kills the basal producers on the bottom of the ocean, that leads to depletion of oxygen, and so all the other animals in the lake can't live either. And after they die, and then the algae dies because it rapidly grows, it rapidly dies. There's even less oxygen. But of course, with all this dead matter, decomposers have to come in and use even more oxygen to decompose this dead organic matter.
As of 2006, nitrogen fertilizer is being increasingly controlled in Britain and in the United States. Although eutrophication can be reversed, it may take years and decades for the nitrates to be broken down by a natural process. So if you don't want all of this to happen to your aquatic ecosystems, hurting fish, organisms that depend on the lake, and other animals, like Brady's cat, then the underlying lesson is don't use excess
Amounts of
nitrogen fertilizers.
Yeah!
Shout out to Mr. Kingman.
P.S.
We love you. Head out straight.
Atlanta.